We talk about Hawaii and the Big Island. The economy obviously depends on tourism. Do
Mhm.
you know what kind of effect this is having on the mainland? The idea that no one wants to travel and no one's really allowed to travel per se. I mean, is this? Do you know what the effect is so far?
Yeah, I mean it's been affecting all those small businesses back in Hawaii. Like you said, Hawaii is a huge tourism state. That's what we rely on. That's where we get most of our income. And to not have this, obviously, it's been tough on all the people in Hawaii because when you don't have money, it's hard to pay bills. And in Hawaii, with how expensive it is, the living costs and whatnot. I mean, you're talking about $7, $8 for a gallon of milk there.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where with this hitting and people not being able to work, it's been pretty tough. I've been trying to keep in touch with a lot of people, trying to figure out what I can do to help out, but it's just been one of those things where it's kind of it's above my head already. I'm just trying to see if I can do anything to just help these people get some kind of break.
And I know that, like in the past, I've thought of Hawaii as sort of, a lot of people don't think of it in the States because it is the 50th, I guess. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because it's such a vacation destination for a lot of people,
Mhm.
but it's front and center with a lot of these things, obviously. I know you've been working with Young's Fish Market to match and deliver any order placed for healthcare workers or first responders in Hawaii. They're delivering like 600 a day, which is nuts. But
Yeah.
how important is it to give back to where you grew up, especially in times like this?
So important. Those people are the people who created me, who, invested in me, who kind of made me the person that I am today. And, for me growing up and seeing, what it was like, I wasn't somebody who grew up with a lot of money. My parents, we weren't even broke by any means, but we weren't well off, so I was able to be in the trenches with, these people, seeing how life was back then, like to understand, where I was and where I am now. It's almost like an obligation that I feel deep down that I need to help these people.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. I know when you come home and you see these kids who haven't had meals the whole day or the past couple of days, and they're just trying to figure out some way of getting food. It's one of those things where it's just, I know there's a pandemic and I know we're not getting paid, but I'm still trying to do whatever I can to help just put some kind of meal on the table for these kids.
That's great. And also, they're talking about not being able to internationally fly through the end of the year. That's what it seems like. So they did encourage people that want to take a vacation to do it within the States. So remember, Hawaii would be an easy travel destination, even if there's an international ban.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would be great. So you are of Chinese descent. I'm wondering if you have faced any racism with like morons over COVID-19, or if you know anyone else who's faced it.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately for me, I have not faced it, but being on social media and just going through, watching TV and whatnot, and you just see that racism is starting to show up even more and more, and it's just so sad, man. Because at the end of the day, we're not anything but humans. We're all the same. We all bleed the same. We all have the same colored blood, and it's like, this time instead of worrying about this guy being this race or this guy being that, why don't we just worry about being good humans and taking care of one another, doing what we can in this time? And it's just one of those things where I sit back and it's like, growing up in Hawaii, you never saw racism. You never understood what that was. But as times get worse and worse, you see it come back, and it's like, man, it's such a ugly face to show. And you see all these people coming out and calling each other names, and just because of how they were born. We don't have control over that. We just control our emotions and who we are. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where I hope people understand that we're all humans at the end of the day, and let's just do what we can to take care of one another.
True. Amen.